So Bradford City have today confirmed that striker Vadaine has left the club. He's joined Sky Bet League One side Stevenage FC on loan for the remainder of the 2023-24 campaign. And in today's video, I'll be bringing you guys my thoughts and opinions on this news. If you do go on to enjoy, please make sure to drop a like on there for me. If you could try to 80 likes on today's video, that'd be massively appreciated. Subscribe if you're new as well. We are now on the road to 8,000 subscribers, so please make sure you are subscribed if you haven't already, with that post notification bell on. It's free to do so, and it does massively help out. Get your thoughts in as well down in the comment section down below. This has been a move that has been rumoured over the last couple of days on a permanent deal, so the fact that it's gone through as a loan is certainly very surprising. I think it's probably a good move for all parties, if I am being honest with you. It does kind of leave us a little bit light though now in that striker position in terms of strength and depth, so expect us to go and get another striker in the next coming days before Saturday's game against Doncaster Rovers. But make sure to drop a like on there for me, subscribe if you're new as well, and let's get into it. So Bradford City tweeted today at 3 PM saying Vadaine has joined Stevenage FC on loan for the rest of the season. The article does then read, Oliver joins Stevenage on loan. Vadaine has joined Sky Bet League One side Stevenage on loan for the remainder of the 2023-24 campaign. The forward has featured 9 times for the Bantams this campaign, making his first start in 12 months against Derby County last Tuesday. He will now spend the remainder of the season at the Lameck Stadium. Bradford City AFC would like to wish Vadaine the very best throughout his loan spell at Stevenage. Obviously, with him signing for another club, Stevenage also tweeted at 3 PM saying, welcome to Stevenage FC, Vadaine. The article does then read, Stevenage signed Vadaine on loan. Stevenage Football Club have agreed terms with Bradford City for the loan signing of Vadaine for the remainder of the season. The 32-year-old striker joined Stevenage on loan to work again with Steve Evans, where the manager's leadership helped the forward to 30 goals in just over 90 games for Gillingham in League One. Upon completion of the loan move, Steve Evans said, Vadaine is an excellent signing for us. He has always scored goals for me, over 20 when we worked together in League One. As a minimum, he works incredibly hard for the team, and I am delighted to work with him again, subject to FA approval. So short and sweet there really from Gillingham, but I think for me personally, it's a move that makes sense for all parties. He's not currently getting game time at Bradford City. In that limited game time that he is getting, he is not impressing whatsoever. The fans are starting to get really frustrated with him because he doesn't really offer much. You don't think he suits either Mike Hughes' style of play, he doesn't suit Graham Alexander's style of play, and I think Alexander's is kind of similar to Steve Evans, so I'll be interested to see how he does get on there, because previously with Vadaine at Stevenage, he has worked quite well there. You know, at Gillingham, he scored a hell of a lot of goals in the division above, and that is why Bradford City went out and signed him. We actually brought him in to be our first choice striker, to be the number 9, without obviously giving him the number 9 shirt for some real competition really for Andy Cook. Last season though, Andy Cook had the season of his life, scoring 31 goals in all competitions, and Vadaine picks up a couple of pretty long-term injuries, unfortunately. Yes, he had a little bit of a purple patch around the end of December, early January time, where he scored a couple of goals, but apart from that, his 18 months at Bradford City have either been hit with massive injury or he's just really struggled for game time. I mean, in terms of his league statistics with Bradford City so far this season, just the 6 appearances for him, no starts, averaging 22 minutes per game, no goals and no assists, with a 100% passing accuracy in his own half and a 33% passing accuracy in the opposition half. He only actually wins 52% of his aerial duels, which for a striker who's meant to be incredible in the air, like what we thought we were signing with Vadaine 52% is just simply not good enough, if I'm being honest. And I feel like what we expected to get from Vadaine and what we've actually got, it's just not been anywhere near as good as what we thought we were getting. You know, we gave Oliver a 3-year contract, and by the time this loan move has expired, he's still going to have another year left. Now, maybe we were asking for too much money, maybe on a permanent basis. Potentially Stevenage might not have enough money to pay a transfer fee and then go and, you know, sign his wages, because Stevenage spent a lot of money in the summer, and this was actually a transfer that I recommended. I felt like it would have been a good move for all parties in the summer when I did my How Stevenage Avoid Relegation video. I think they're probably definitely going to avoid relegation this season. You know, they're currently in a promotion battle, and fair play to Steve Evans. I know a lot of people don't really like Steve Evans, but at the end of the day, he gets results, and Vadaine Steve Evans will probably go on and get the best out of him. If he scores double figures between now and the end of the season in the division above, hopefully he comes back to Bradford City in the summer with a fresh mindset mindset, and hopefully he starts scoring goals for Bradford City, because like I say, he's not really performing in the limited minutes that he's getting, and it just really makes sense for all parties, to be fair. If we have a look at some of his League One statistics, in the 21/22 campaign, he made 38 starts, scoring 10 goals, averaging a goal every 337 minutes, also missing 13 big chances with an 11% goal conversion rate. He chipped in with 3 assists as well in that season. And in the 20/21 campaign, he made the 39 starts, scoring 17 goals, averaging a goal every 202 minutes, missing another 13 big chances with a 15% goal conversion rate, and chipping in with 6 assists as well. So 23 goal contributions in the league above. You can clearly see why Vadaine is probably desperate to work with Steve Evans once more, where he actually, again, only won around 55% of his aerial duels, but he had 10.2 per 90 to challenge for. Bradford City, he only had 2.5 or something like that, so maybe he's not winning as much in the air. I mean, I know the percentage is very similar, but he's not having as many duels to challenge for, so that's maybe why we don't see him win as many. But he always seems to mistime his headers, which is really, really frustrating. I think so far this season, I mean, yes, he scored in the EFL Trophy against Liverpool's under-21s, and he won a penalty against Crawley, but apart from that, he doesn't have a single memorable moment for the Bantams this season. Like I say, struggle with injury. He's had 3 or 4 really long-term injuries at Bradford City, and it just makes sense really for all parties. So I wish him all the very best. He's 32 years of age now. I'd have liked to seen this on a permanent deal, to be honest with you, and then we could have got that money in and reinvested it somewhere else. Some of the players we've been linked with: Matt Smith from Salford City, Harry Smith from Sutton United, Cole Stockton as well from Burton, but it seems highly likely he'll end up with Barrow, and I'm not too sure if he's the right style for Bradford City. While he's had a decent couple of seasons for Morecambe a few years ago, recently at Burton, and I think even his last spell with Morecambe wasn't the greatest, if I'm being honest with you, and I feel like we can get better than Cole Stockton. Me personally, Matt Smith or Harry Smith would be 2 really, really good signings, and much better than Vadaine Oliver, in my opinion. If we have a look then at how the squad is now lining up, it's clear to see we need a striker. Andy Cook hasn't quite hit the heights that he hit last season as expected, but he started a very good season so far. 13 goals for him in all competitions. Tyler Smith is very hit and miss, pretty decent in the EFL Trophy. Has struggled really to score goals in the league. I think just the 3 for him so far this season. Jake Young is back in training, and we are going to speak about him actually in a minute, so we'll save my thoughts on him for a moment. And Matt Derbyshire, who needs to move on this transfer window because he is nowhere near good enough. I still feel like there will be a number of other players who could potentially leave the football club as well, but with Lewis Richards back in training, fingers crossed he's available for the weekend. But like I say, we are going to speak about Jake Young here, and obviously Carlisle, it seemed like they were the front runners, with Port Vale and Exeter also interested, but Paul Simpson has said he's a player we are all like, but we can't afford him. Bradford are talking a ridiculous figure. We'll read the article here from the News and Start from Carlisle United. I think it was, I'm pretty sure I'm right in saying that it was them who reported we got £175,000 for Harry Lewis, so they kind of pulled his pants down with that one, so I don't think they can really complain too much about Jake Young. But this was something I actually criticised the club for when it was rumoured we were only asking for £200,000 for, so if it sounds like we're asking for a ridiculous figure, I'll give them credit for finally acting like a real football club, and hopefully Jake Young will remain at Bradford City. But the article does then read, Carlisle United boss on Bradford City striker Jake Young. I would also like to say, firstly, it is actually very rare that managers speak about other teams' players publicly like this, which I've not really seen before, but some people won't like it, some people don't mind it. Paul Simpson says Bradford City have priced Carlisle United out of a move for Jake Young. The Blues boss says the Bantams are quoting a ridiculous fee for the striker's services. Carlisle have in recent days been linked with a transfer move for the 22-year-old, who impressed with 16 goals during a loan spell with Swindon Town this season, but Simpson told the News and Start the asking price is beyond United's reach, even with their improved budget thanks to the club's new owners, the Piatak family. He's a player who we all like, but we can't afford, said Simpson. Bradford are talking a ridiculous figure, so that won't be happening. He was asked if a potential move was dead or whether they remained any hope. United's manager added, from what I'm hearing, the figure they are quoting is way out of our league, and certainly not a figure I would expect anybody to be paying for him. So we'll have to wait and see what happens, as Bradford last weekend said they had turned down an offer for Young without naming the club involved. Simpson himself had said that the Blues had seen a bid for an unnamed player rejected last Friday. Carlisle had been mentioned in reports about Young, with Exeter City and Port Vale among the other clubs said to be interested in the ex-Forest Green Rovers man. Young scored 16 in 26 for Swindon, but is now back to his parent club. Should he play for Bradford this month, he would not be able to play for another club at this season. Bantams boss Graham Alexander said an injury ruled Young out of contention for last weekend's 1-1 draw against Colchester United. I'm pretty sure that someone went down to training yesterday and seen Jake Young was actually finally back training with the squad, which is obviously great to see. And that is where I also saw the news about Lewis Richards being back in training as well. But I don't think Jamie Walker was, so he must have had a little bit of a setback with his injury, unfortunately. To summarise then, my overall thoughts on Vadaine Oliver departing the football club. But like I say, it makes sense for all parties. We get Oliver out, who he's been very injury prone for us and really struggled for game time. Stevenage get a striker in who has worked well previously with their manager, and I feel like he could score goals at that level. Obviously, Steve Evans likes to chop and change his team every 6, 12, 18 months because I feel like as good as a manager he is in terms of getting results, his style of playing tactics and just his overall general ability to be a manager, it can be quite draining, and eventually you are going to need to chop and change that squad. But I feel like this could be a move that maybe gets made permanent in the summer, depending on how Oliver does. But it's good to get a high earner off of the wage bill and all that sort of stuff. Just a shame, really, it wasn't on a permanent deal. But I'm excited to see who we bring in now to replace him. Fingers crossed we do bring in a replacement, because our striking options now, apart from Andy Cook, we don't really have a big physical striker to play up there. So I'll be interested to see how we do get on. I'm going to leave it there then for today's video. If you have enjoyed, please make sure to drop a like on there for me. If you could try and hit 80 likes, as I said at the start of today's video, that'd be massively appreciated. Subscribe if you're new as well. We are now on the road to 8,000 subscribers, so please make sure you are subscribed if you haven't already, with that post notification bell on. It's free to do so, and it does massively help out. Get your thoughts in as well down in the comment section down below. Let me know down below what are your thoughts on Bradford City letting Vadaine Oliver join Sky Bet League 1 side at Stevenage FC on loan for the remainder of the 2023-24 campaign. Thank you all very much for watching today's video. Have a good rest of your day. I'm pretty sure I didn't say in my opinion in this video. See you all later. Peace.